How far out was I? Oh, look at that. Bob on. Hello guys, welcome to Workshop Wednesday, where we will release a midweek video if we're doing something that isn't motorcycle related in the workshop, whether that be with a lathe, the milling machine, some welding, making something, whatever it might be. We'll release it on a Wednesday if and when we can, and we've got a few really exciting projects coming up, and this week being the first one, I need to make a dolly to move my Harley Davidson Tour Glide in and out of the workshop while we're rebuilding the rear end. So to do that, I've got 4 wheels with some little bearings in, maybe slight overkill here, and I've got some box section, and I'm just going to weld something together. So let's crack on, shall we? Right, so let's give you a brief explanation of what we're going to do. Underneath the Harley Davidson is 2 lower frame rails right underneath. These pieces of steel, just for a demonstration, they are 30mm in diameter. So we're going to take some box section, we're going to cut some semicircles either side so that they fit over, or the frame rails sit into the semicircles to give it some rigidity. So we're basically going to weld up a square, or probably more of a rectangle at the end. We're going to put 2 axles underneath, bolts and wheels on the end. We can plonk the Harley on it and move it in and out of the workshop easily while the rear end is all stripped down. So, sounds easy. Let's see how well it goes. So we'll start by cutting these 2 bits of box section to length, which I've just roughly measured on the bike. It's not, probably end up using this for something else in the end, so it's just to enable us to get it in and out of the workshop. So we'll cut those first. So that's the box section cut to size, and what I've done is I've marked the box section on the frame of the bike underneath, so I know where the semicircles have to be. I'm going to take half a socket, which is 1mm bigger than the outside diameter of the bike frame. Going to draw around it and create a semicircle. And to cut that out, what I'm going to do is put a series of slots in it like this with my angle grinder, okay, all the way across and the other side, and then we'll very easily, or very gently, sorry I should say, cut out the rest of that semicircle. Right, so that's 2 uprights. Let's move this gearbox, shall we? That's better. Better. Right. Let's get this together, shall we? Tell what I'm going to do. Right, that makes sense, guys. Clamp to the bench. That's the front, that's the back, obviously the sides. Let's get some of this that we don't need anymore out of the way. Right, need to clean up a couple of bits there. I've cleaned a few of the edges. Shall we MIG it or shall we TIG it? MIGging would be easier, but I need to put my torch back together. Should we have a go with the TIG? Haven't done a lot of TIGging, so if you see me going horribly wrong, please let me know in the comments. It is highly likely because I've barely used it, but let's give it a go, shall we? Right, the TIG welding didn't go to plan, so we busted out the trusty old MIG. And done a bit of metal melting. So let's quickly clean these welds up and make a couple of axles. I suppose we should give it a lick of paint, really, shouldn't we? I wasn't going to, because it's just you know, quick project to get the Harley rolling. So we do need a couple of axles to put the wheels on the end though. So let's see what we got to do that. Right, so to make the axles, guys, I've got a bit of steel bar. I'm going to pop it into my lathe. I'm going to turn down the end to fit the bearing of the wheels. So we'll pop that in the lathe. Right, so just face the end off. So what we got to do is this bit of bar has got to fit inside this wheel bearing. So it won't at the minute. It's not too far off though. So let's have a little measure, see where we are. Yeah, 16 mil. And the bar is 20 mil. So we need to take 4 mil off, but we need it to go all the way through this hub and out the other side. So we'll go 16 mil diameter, 17 mil length. So let's increase how much is poking out of the chuck. Again, guys, this doesn't, you know, this doesn't need to be rocket science. This little bit crude, but it will get the job done, and it will mean that we can keep the Harley rolling in and out of the garage. So you can see our little black dot there. How far out was I? Oh, look at that, bob on. So we're sticking out quite a bit, so to prevent any deflection on that bar, guys, what we'll do is we'll just stick a little centre drill in. And we'll take the chuck out and we'll just put a little centre in there just to hold it. Splendid. Right. Spot on. So I'm not going to cut a thread on the end or anything, guys. What I'm going to do is cut this bar down and I'll either weld it through the box section, as in cut a hole in the box section, pop a bit through, weld it up, or I'll weld it on the bottom. I haven't made a decision yet, but I'll trim this down now to allow us enough working space. We'll go ahead and make 4 more of these. I'm going to not cut a thread, sorry, that's where I was going, wasn't it? I'm going to not cut a thread on the end. I'm just going to literally drill a hole through it and put a split pin or an R-clip through it. It's all it needs, okay? It ain't going racing. Right, so that's one done, guys. So we'll pop that either underneath the box section or through it, wheel on the end. We've got to put some holes in it, so I'll crack on and make 3 more of these. Lucky me. Right, so that's 4 little axles made, guys, and then on the milling machine I just stuck a little hole through the centre of each one so I can put a nut and a bolt or a split pin or whatever we're going to use. The next step is to get these 4 axles onto this frame. They are going to fit in the end of the box section like that. We're going to drill a couple of holes through the box section now so that we can plug weld the axle in there, and then we'll weld up round the end as well. Pop the wheels on and we should be ready to go. I've already centre punched them. Right, let's get those plug welded in, shall we? Right, let's move this round here, give you guys the general idea. So I've just a couple of welds onto the axle inside through the holes. We'll weld up round the end. Test fitting the wheel, make sure that's okay. Job's a good one. Let's do that another 3 more times and then we can get the wheels on. Right, splendid. Let's pop some wheels on. Right, so what we've done, guys, is I've just cut down some Allen key bolts. So to stop the wheel from falling off, because I haven't got any split pins that will do, just gonna stick a little nut and bolt through. You get the idea, don't you? The nut and bolt goes through there. The bolt goes through there, nut on the end, we'll just nip it up loosely and that will stop the wheels falling off. So I'm gonna crack on and just quickly get those wheels bolted on and I'll show you the end product. It's gonna fit underneath the Harley and we'll test fit in a minute. We'll let you know how you get on. Right, thanks for watching the first episode of Workshop Wednesday. It hasn't quite gone according to plan because the box section isn't man enough really, but it's going to do the job while we've got the rear end off of the Harley Davidson. If you're interested in the Harley Davidson project, link on the screen now and in the description and in the comments to the full playlist of my 40-odd-year-old tour glide that is a constant project. And I'll see you guys on the next Workshop Wednesday.